The 5 a.m. secret, the habit that changes everything. What if I told you that the single difference between where you are right now and the life you actually want is not money, not talent, not connections? It is literally just 2 hours every morning that you are currently sleeping through. And what if I told you that a broke 30-year-old man with $11 in his bank account, a dying car, and zero qualifications used those exact 2 hours to go from stocking grocery shelves at midnight to running his own business in less than 1 year? No shortcuts, no inheritance, no lucky break, just one alarm, set at 5 a.m. If that sounds too simple to be real, good, because the truth always does. Stay with me until the end of this video, because the system I'm about to share has quietly changed thousands of lives, and almost nobody is talking about it. And if this kind of content hits different for you, subscribe right now, because every single week I bring you stories and strategies that actually move the needle. Now let's get into it. His name was Marcus, 30 years old, Detroit, Michigan. Every night at 10 p.m., he clocked into a grocery store, dragging a metal cart through cold aisles, stacking boxes until his back ached. Every morning at 6 a.m., he drove home in a car that made a sound like it was personally offended by being started. He had $11 in savings. Not $11,000. $11. He had applied to college twice and couldn't afford the application fees either time. His girlfriend had walked out the year before and said something that cut deep. "Marcus, you're not going anywhere, and the worst part is, you've accepted it." He hadn't accepted it, but he also hadn't fought it, and that quiet space between accepting and fighting, that is where most people stay forever. Comfortable enough to survive, uncomfortable enough to suffer. Marcus was suffering. Every single afternoon, when he woke up around 2 p.m. and looked at the ceiling, he felt it. That hollow feeling in your chest when you know your life is passing you by and you cannot figure out how to grab it. He scrolled job listings. Everything required a degree he didn't have or experience he couldn't get without the job. Classic trap. He watched motivational videos. He felt good for about 40 minutes and then nothing changed. He told himself, "Next month, I'll figure it out." Next month became next year. Then, one Tuesday morning, something happened that rearranged everything inside him. He was leaving work at 6:15 a.m., exhausted, head down, walking to his car in the gray Michigan morning. An older man was walking into the building next door, a small accounting firm, late 50s, clean coat, calm face, moving like a man who had somewhere important to be. Marcus recognized him vaguely. Daniel Green. He owned 3 small businesses in the neighborhood. Not a celebrity, not a millionaire, just a man who had clearly built something real. Marcus, without fully knowing why, said, "Hey, excuse me, what time did you wake up this morning?" The man stopped, turned, looked at Marcus's uniform, his tired eyes, his slumped shoulders, and instead of brushing him off, he smiled. "4:50, he said, "same as every morning for the last 22 years. Marcus blinked. "Why?" Daniel Green said something Marcus would never forget. "Because between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., the world hasn't started competing yet. The emails haven't come. The noise hasn't started. Your brain is fresh, your willpower is full, and for 2 hours, you have something nobody can buy: undistracted time. I built everything I have in those 2 hours, every skill, every plan, every decision that mattered. While everyone else was sleeping, I was building." He looked at Marcus directly. "What shift do you work?" "Overnight, 6 a.m. finish." Daniel nodded slowly. "So right now, you go home and sleep until the afternoon." "Yeah. And in the afternoon, you're too tired and too behind to do anything that actually changes your life." Marcus felt like the man had read his diary. "Here's what you do," Daniel said. "Go home, sleep from 6:30 to 11:30. 5 hours, enough. Wake up at 11:30, live your productive life while the world is awake, and on your days off, practice waking at 5 a.m. sharp. Build the habit. Then when you change jobs, and you will change jobs, the habit is already wired in." He handed Marcus a business card. "Read 1 hour, move your body 30 minutes, plan 30 minutes. Do that every morning for 90 days. Then come find me. I'll tell you what to do next." and he walked inside. Marcus stood in the parking lot holding that card. He had heard motivational speeches before, he had seen the YouTube videos, but something about a real man standing in front of him with real businesses and a real calm about him, something cracked open. He drove home, and instead of turning on the TV, he set 2 alarms, one for 11:30 a.m., one labeled, just to make it real, 5 a.m. tomorrow. Now, here's where the story gets interesting, because what Marcus did next is where 99% of people fail, not because they lack motivation, but because they don't understand what actually happens inside your brain during the first 21 days of a new habit. Here is the science. When you wake up earlier than usual, your brain resists hard. It releases extra cortisol, which your body reads as stress. Your thoughts become dramatic. I'm exhausted. This is insane. 1 more hour won't hurt. This is not weakness. This is neuroscience. Your brain's default mode is efficiency, which means repeat what you did yesterday. Change feels like a threat. The discomfort you feel on day 3 of waking early is not a sign that it's not working. It is literally proof that your brain is rewiring. Push through the discomfort and the neural pathway strengthens. Quit and it disappears. Most people quit on day 4. Marcus almost quit on day 3. He woke at 5 a.m. on his day off. His body felt like concrete. His mind offered him every excuse available. You worked all week. You deserve sleep. 1 day off won't hurt. Start Monday. He knew these were just thoughts. He stood up anyway, walked to his small kitchen table, opened his laptop, and for 1 hour he watched free Excel and bookkeeping tutorials on YouTube, not because he had a plan yet, just because he had heard that every business needs someone who understands numbers, and he figured that was as good a place to start as any. At 6 a.m. he put on his shoes and walked around the block twice, 22 minutes. Nothing dramatic, just movement, fresh air. His own heartbeat reminding him he was alive and choosing differently. He went back inside, spent 30 minutes writing down 3 things: what he learned, what he wanted to learn tomorrow, and 1 small action he could take that week. Then he slept. And here is what nobody tells you about this process. The most powerful thing that happens in those early morning hours is not the skill you learn, it is the identity shift. Every single morning that you wake up, when your body says no, you send yourself a message. You say, I am someone who does hard things. I am someone who shows up for myself. I am someone who is building. That message compounds. After 7 days, you believe it a little. After 21 days, you feel it. After 90 days, it is simply who you are. Marcus felt it around day 18. He woke up at 4:58 a.m., 2 minutes before his alarm. His body had adjusted. He didn't feel dread anymore. He felt something strange and unfamiliar. He felt ready. By the end of month 1, he had finished 2 free online courses. 1 in Excel, 1 in basic small business bookkeeping. He hadn't spent a single dollar. YouTube, free course platforms, library resources, all free. His morning walks had become runs, short ones, slow ones, but runs. He had lost 9 pounds without trying. His co-workers noticed he seemed different, more present, less defeated. By month 2, Marcus was getting up at 5 a.m. even on work nights, sleeping from 6:30 to 11:30 exactly as Daniel had suggested, and using his mornings to practice what he was learning. He built a sample spreadsheet tracking fake business expenses just to practice. He made it look clean, professional, organized. Then one morning he had an idea. The grocery store where he worked had a back office that was, to put it politely, a disaster. Inventory tracked on paper, ordering done by gut feeling, losses they couldn't explain. Marcus had watched this for 2 years and never said a word because it wasn't his problem. But now he had a skill, and skills make you see problems differently. He spent 3 mornings building a simple inventory tracking spreadsheet, color-coded, automated totals, easy to update. On a Tuesday, he walked into his manager's office before his shift and said, I built something that might help us stop losing money on overstock. Can I show you? His manager almost fell out of his chair. They implemented the spreadsheet that week. Within a month, the store had reduced waste by a measurable amount. The regional manager heard about it. Marcus was called into a meeting he had not expected. It was day 84 of his 5 a.m. journey. They offered him a full-time position in their operations and inventory department. Daytime hours, 40% more pay, benefits, an actual desk. Marcus cried in his car afterward. Not sad tears. The kind that come when something you stopped believing in suddenly becomes real. He called Daniel Green that evening. I did it. 84 days. I never missed a single morning. And today, I got promoted into a completely different career. There was a pause on the line. Then Daniel said, I know. I could tell the morning I met you. You had the look of someone one decision away from everything changing. Now listen to me carefully. Do not stop. The 5 a.m. alarm is not a strategy anymore. It is your identity. Keep going. 1 year later, Marcus was not just in operations. He was leading a small team. He had taken on freelance bookkeeping clients on the side, 3 small businesses in his neighborhood, including one of Daniel Green's. He was earning more in a month than he used to earn in 3. He had moved into a better apartment. He had started a small emergency fund. He was taking an online accounting certification that would take him even further. Every morning at 5 a.m., he still woke up. Not because he had to, because those 2 hours were the most important hours of his day. That was when he learned. That was when he planned. That was when he was completely, fully, undistractedly himself. His friends asked him, Marcus, you already made it. Why do you still wake up so early? He always said the same thing. I don't wake up early because I'm trying to succeed. I wake up early because I already decided who I am. And that person starts his day at 5 a.m. So here is what I need you to understand before you close this video. Marcus had no advantages. He had no degree, no money, no mentor until a random Tuesday morning parking lot conversation. What he had was 2 hours and the willingness to use them. Research from the University of Toronto found that morning people report higher levels of happiness, better mental health, and stronger feelings of meaning in their lives compared to evening types. A study published in Nature Communications analyzed the habits of over 450,000 people and found that being a morning person was directly linked to greater life satisfaction, and a survey of over 700 self-made millionaires found that nearly 50% woke up at least 3 hours before their workday began. These are not people who got lucky. These are people who understood one thing: the morning hours belong to you, completely, totally. No boss, no notifications, no demands. Just you and whatever you decide to build. And here is the system. Simple, proven, no equipment required. Step 1. Tonight, set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m., not 5:15, not sometime around 5 a.m. And put your phone across the room so your body has to physically stand up to silence it. That one step breaks the snooze loop. Step 2. Decide right now what you will learn in your first hour. One skill, one course, one subject that could change your income or your future. Not 2 things. 1. Consistency on one thing beats scattered effort on 10 things every single time. Step 3. Use your second hour to move your body for 30 minutes and then plan your day. Walk, run, stretch, whatever level you're at. Then sit down and write 3 things you want to accomplish today. Not a massive list. 3 focused things. Step 4. Protect 10 p.m. as your hard bedtime. This is non-negotiable. You cannot wake early if you sleep late. The Netflix will still be there. The scrolling will still be there. Your future, however, is only built in the time you protect right now. Do this for 90 days, not 90 perfect days, 90 committed days. Miss 1, get back on track the next morning. No drama, no guilt, just back to the alarm. I promise you this, you will not recognize your life. Not because of magic, because of math. 2 hours a day times 90 days is 180 hours of intentional, focused self-improvement. That is more than 4 full work weeks of building entirely dedicated to your future, quietly, before anyone else is even awake. The version of you that wakes up tomorrow at 5 a.m. is already different from the version that hits snooze. Which one shows up? Drop a comment right now and tell me, what is the one skill you are going to spend your first hour building tomorrow? I read every comment. Let's hold each other to this. And if this story hits something real in you, share it with one person who says they want to change but keeps waiting for the right moment. Because the right moment is tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Subscribe so you don't miss next week, because every week I bring you a real story and a real system from someone who started with nothing and built something worth talking about. Your future self is already awake. Go meet them.